Browns give Shedeur Sanders injury update after rookie QB leaves practice. The Browns confirmed that Shedeur Sanders suffered an oblique strain during Wednesday's practice, and that he will likely miss the team's next preseason game Saturday against the Eagles. Sanders, 23, suffered the injury while throwing early in practice, and was kept out for the remainder of the day. Further medical testing later revealed the oblique strain, and the Browns have labeled him day-to-day and ruled him out for Thursday's practice. The team said it was unlikely he would play Saturday. Video shot by WKYC showed the son of Deion Sanders throwing earlier in practice and appearing to be in discomfort. Other images from the practice showed Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts giving Sanders a ride to the locker room on a cart. The two had also been spotted engaging in a long conversation after the joint practice with the Eagles had ended. "I keep the conversation intimate. We had a very lengthy conversation," Hurts said after the practice. "He came to me and just wanted to talk. I'm always there, giving my perspective of what I see and how I've gone about things. Ultimately, it takes a great deal of patience and hard work and a sense of resilience. You've got to want it, and so I'm supporting him from where I am and wish him nothing but the best with his opportunities." The unlucky turn of events for Sanders came just days after he had gotten the most reps he's had in a practice. Sanders also just impressed in the Browns' first preseason game in Carolina, when he completed 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. The Colorado product was in line to start his second preseason game of the year this Saturday. Fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel has also been dealing with a hamstring injury, so it's unclear if he will be able to get the start either. The cleats left little gouges in the turf, brief signatures of a day the Browns would rather have rewritten. Cameras blinked, trainers moved with the still, efficient choreography of people who've rehearsed for emergencies, and Shedeur Sanders, the rookie with the kind of calm that feels rehearsed and real at once, walked off the field with his arm wrapped and his jaw set like he was carrying a secret. By sunset, the team's statement arrived, an update clinical and kind that tried to stitch facts to feeling. They called it precautionary. They said scans were scheduled. They praised his toughness. They called him Shedeur. The language of press releases has a rhythm, soft edges, measured facts. But between the sentences the narrative throbbed. A young quarterback's ascent paused. In the locker room, the hum of the fluorescent lights seemed to bend time. Teammates traded jokes that landed thinly. A laugh is a flimsy bandage for the worry that pooled behind eyes. For a rookie, leaving practice with trainers trailing is a baptism of fire. For fans, it's a sudden freight of what-ifs. For Shedeur, perhaps it was another moment in the long ledger of proving, to coaches, to critics, to himself, that the spotlight belongs to him. You could imagine the image. Him on the sideline, helmet in hand, watching teammates carry on while his world narrowed to officials' faces and the steady voice of the trainer. The sun glinted off the scoreboard like a question mark. The narrative outside the lines raced ahead in tweets and message boards, the modern chorus. Inside, the Browns' update tempered speculation with order. "He's being evaluated," it read, an attempt to hold panic at bay with paperwork. Creativity, in moments like this, finds a way to pull threads that aren't in the statement. Maybe Shedeur replayed his first snap in slow motion in his head, the one that told him the dream was real. Maybe he replayed a childhood backyard game with a wobbly spiral, his father's laughter under a summer sky. Athletes are human beings embedded in myth. Every stumble or sideline exit becomes a stanza in a larger poem about perseverance. The trainer's routine, assess, ice, immobilize, transport, has its own quiet poetry. It's the language of care disguised as protocol. It admits fragility without dramatizing it. The update promised more tests, an MRI perhaps, a timetable that will be shaped by imaging and specialist eyes. In the meantime, the practice field, once a proving ground, turns into a waiting room. Shadows lengthen, the turf cools. Fans respond in 1,000 small ways. Someone paints his number in chalk on a driveway, and then steps back, heart in throat. Someone else composes a playlist titled Fast Recovery, and adds it to a shared folder. Social media becomes a bedside vigil, voice notes of encouragement, memes that try to make light of fear, old highlights of Shedeur's college heroics uploaded like talismans. The city holds its breath in a low, steady way, as if breath itself could be a salve. Coaches, facing the intersection of strategy and empathy, move through the day with a layered focus. There are practice plans to adjust, reps to redistribute, a depth chart to consult like an ancient oracle. But there are also conversations, quiet ones, about how to manage a young player's public narrative, how to protect a fragile confidence. A rookie's first season is a mosaic of small wins. An injury is a sharp tile that can cut or define the whole picture. And Shedeur, who until that afternoon existed mostly as a name in the exuberant topography of draft boards and highlight reels, gains a new line in his story. Resilience isn't only about coming back stronger. Sometimes it's about learning how to be patient in the space between scans and verdicts, how to steward one's optimism while the medical team does its work. A pause allows reflection. It asks him to practice the quieter muscles of mental recovery, to read, to study film, to talk to teammates who have walked the same path. The Browns update is a covenant of sorts, a promise that they're monitoring, that they won't rush, that the player's health is priority one. They know the optics, fans hunger for immediate answers, and the deeper truth that sports is cyclical. For every game lost to injury, there is a training room tale of a comeback, of a player returning not just healed but wiser. By nightfall, the practice field sat empty like a stage after the audience files out. The lights went down one by one, leaving a single tower bathing the turf in resolute white. Somewhere in the facility, Shedeur lay down and replayed plays not yet run. He rehearsed throws that would, if fate allowed, one day become the defining moments of a career. He also, perhaps, thought about small comforts. The texture of towel, the way an ice pack molds against skin, the sound of a parent's voice in a phone call.